Hey everyone, I'm here with a long overdue Project Pelennor update. It's been a couple weeks since I've posted one of these, but I have lots to share. So firstly, I did a test paint of two warriors of Rohan on horseback, so the Rohirrim, using contrast paints. And as you can see, I think they look pretty good. I'm happy with them. They do take a while to do, so I've kind of taken a break from the Forces of Good for a little bit. I still have 10 more of those that I have to paint, as well as King Theoden on foot and mounted. But I have all the paints for them, and I've tested it, so I think I'll be okay with that. We are really getting down to the wire here. This is crunch time. There's less than a month left in the first phase of Project Pelennor. I'll get into the phases later on, because it's something I haven't touched on yet, but the grind is real. So I'm probably going to be focusing on painting a lot more rather than making videos right now, just until I kind of get a handle on how many models I still have left to paint. Speaking of which, I dove headfirst into painting the Forces of Mordor now. I've started with some orcs, and yeah, it's what Lord Sauron wanted me to do.
Worthy of Mordor.
But there's so many orcs. So yeah, I started with painting up 12 orcs. There's 36 in the box, which that's a lot. It's a lot of miniatures. But I kind of like it because with orcs, they can look kind of like grimy, and their armor's supposed to look kind of chipped and weathered and stuff, so it's really just heavy washes on them, and then I just kind of like randomize the skin tones, because not all orcs in Tolkien look the same, and I've got some pretty good results so far. So I'm going to do a little bit of kind of modding with, like, you know, weapons and stuff like that, so they look a little different. There's only 12 sculpts, so I don't want to have 3 of the same orcs each time for each row. But yeah, so there's a lot of work there. I still have to do the Mordor Troll, and then of course I have the big guy himself, the Witch King on Fellbeast, which I know I've been stressing over the last couple of videos that, like, it terrifies me. I have the paints on the way for him, so I'm preparing. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to complete the orcs. I almost have 24 of them completely done, so I only have 12 left. I've told you, I've been busy. And so I'll have those done. I'll probably do the troll, and then I'll jump back into Rohan, finish up the last 10 riders, and then I'll end this with painting up King Theoden and the Witch King. So kind of leave the biggest models for last, in terms of, like, you know, they're the heroes. So yeah, so Project Pelennor is coming along. I am probably not going to be leaving my room in the next 3 weeks. I'm just going to be painting up a storm. Also, I made a wet palette. I don't know if a lot of painters out there use wet palettes, but it's kind of changed my mind. I made a little homemade one using a Tupperware container, and it's cool. It keeps my paints fresh, you know. They're not just drying out on a dry palette. I'm like, you know, I don't have to keep on reapplying paints as often. So that's going to save me time, a little bit of money, and yeah, so it looks pretty good. So, the phases. Phase 1 of Project Pelennor is going to end on August 18th. Which is the first anniversary of Andrew's passing, and it's going to end with my cousin Josh and I having a small battle. Yeah, we're going to film it. We're working out the details with that. But I realized that Project Pelennor, just doing the box set, and like this has been a great experience. I don't want it to end there. I'm not done. I'm not ready. I want to keep going, and I'm enjoying this a lot. It's been very cathartic. It's been very soothing, kind of being able to paint. There's a bit of a grind right now, so I'm maybe not as enjoying it as much right now, but like, I do enjoy painting. It's a good stress relief, and I think I want to do more. So I think I'm gonna do another phase of it. This might even be a yearly thing where I pick something to challenge myself with and paint it up and see where I go. Because I think that's something that Andrew did. He kind of defied expectations, and the things that he painted, like, they were amazing. So I want to kind of capture that and try my best, and, you know, go from there. I'm also thinking that the next phase of this is going to be another army. So when we used to play back in the day, a couple armies actually. When we used to play back in the day, I actually played as Gondor. That was my, the men of Minas Tirith and all that. That was my primary force. I only got into Rohan later. And I think I want to start up a Gondor army. I also want to finish off kind of like the forces of evil. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint up a force of Easterlings and Haradrim, and eventually, putting this out there, so I'm going to kind of force myself to do it. I think eventually I am going to paint up a Mumakil, the big elephants from Lord of the Rings. That was the biggest model I'd ever seen Andrew paint. It looked amazing. I couldn't believe it. I thought he actually paid somebody to paint it the first time, because I was like, there's no way this was painted. I wasn't doubting him. It was just it looked so good. And so I think I'm going to challenge myself and do that eventually. So phase 2 will be happening eventually. I think I'm going to just continue to do this over the years. And yeah, so another thing is, I wanted to say, again, a thank you to everybody who's reached out, everybody who's supporting. Thank you for watching these and kind of, encouraging me to continue. I also wanted to say a big thank you to my Aunt Cindy. She was lovely enough to send along some funds and resources into this project, which are going to go into phase 2. I'm going to figure out what I might use. I might use what she sent me to buy the Mumakil. I think that's very fitting, especially because that was the most impressive model that Andrew had ever painted. And yeah, so thank you so much, Aunt Cindy. I'm very happy that you're on board with this, and your support, of course, is appreciated. Yeah, so I've got a lot to do. I also still have 10 Warriors of the Dead to paint. That'll take me 30 seconds, so I'm not even counting them. Yeah, so this has been Project Pelennor update number, what is this, 4, 5, something like that. And my next update will probably be me basing some of these guys, and I might do a little video on Theoden, the Troll, and the Witch King, because those are kind of big pieces. But yeah, so thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time.